I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the MITT Nation. Welcome everyone, my name is Michelle Rummelt. I'm the manager of the English Language Institute. I'm so proud of this facility and I'm so glad that members of the business community, fellow MITT staff, and of course our students have joined us for this grand opening. I'd like to acknowledge our speakers for this morning's event. Honourable Ian Wishart, Minister of Education and Training, Mr. Terry Dugan, Member of Parliament for Winnipeg South, Mr. Paul Holden, MITT President and CEO, and Ms. Oksana Savchuk, who studied in our ELI program. We'd also like to acknowledge that Elder Harry Bone of the Kisikonan Ojibwe Nation was intended to be with us this morning to provide an Indigenous blessing, but has been stormed in at OCN and sends his regrets. To begin this morning, I would like to ask Honourable Ian Wishart, Minister of Education and Training and MLA for Portage la Prairie, to bring greetings from the province of Manitoba. Within his portfolio, Minister Wishart is responsible for immigration, which drives population growth in our province and enables us to maintain a robust labour force to meet the growing demands of industry. Please welcome Minister Wishart to the podium.
Well, you know you're in Manitoba when one of the speakers is stormed in a snowstorm in October. So thank you very much for the kind introduction, and it's a pleasure to be with you here today, especially with the room so full of students. And it's very, very exciting when there's so much interest in a new facility and a new education program, and that's very positive. It's my honor to bring greetings on behalf of Premier Brian Pallister. Himself an educator. He was a teacher before he went into private industry. And also my many colleagues at the Manitoba Legislature. It's a pleasure, and I'm sure they would be very excited if they're able to join us today. Also like to acknowledge that we're on Treaty 1 territory and in the homeland of the Métis. And I'd also like to thank Paul for inviting me here today. It's great to be here and for the opening of the Institute of Trades and Technology and its English Language Institute in particular. And I appreciate the invitation. It's particularly valuable. We were talking about the level of English and languages that is taught here being very high, and that helps people get into the workforce even more quickly, and that's pretty valuable. And we know with all of the immigrants and all of the refugees that are coming to Manitoba, we're seeing a lot of interest and a lot of pressure on English language training here in the province. So we're very happy to have this open at this time, and we hope that it gets a lot of work in the next little while, and that brings a lot of people into the workplace, because especially with new immigrants and refugees, the quicker we can get you into the workplace, the better off for everybody. And we're certainly working very positively on the immigration issue to try and get as many things done as we can to move them into the workplace as quickly as we can. So new beginnings like this are very exciting. Congratulations on it. We're very proud to be a very small part of it, and we do wish everyone the greatest of success as they move forward using this facility as part of the process.
Thank you, Minister Wishart. Here to bring greetings on behalf of the federal government is Mr. Terry Dugan, Member of Parliament for Winnipeg South. Throughout his career, Mr. Dugan has been both a voice for greater environmental awareness and a dedicated community leader who has given back to our community in countless ways. Please welcome Mr. Dugan to the podium.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Good morning, everyone. Again, I'd also like to acknowledge we're in Treaty 1 territory in the heart of the Métis Nation, and I'm the MP for Winnipeg South here, where we have a significant Indigenous community as well as newcomers from around the world. But it's a great pleasure to be with you here today, and I bring greetings on behalf of Prime Minister Trudeau, who is also a teacher. So Ian, we're in good hands with teachers at the helm, and I particularly want to thank your President, Paul Holden, for the invitation to be with you today. I had a tour some months ago, and I got a little souvenir if you haven't seen it, so I'm wearing the uniform. And let me tell you, I was very impressed with what MITT is doing in this part of the city. And I was even more impressed with some of the plans that you have on the horizon, Paul. Your plans for a health and technology complex, a residence. They're going to add greatly to our community in this part of the city, and I hope all of our partners can come together to support this. And you can see I'm looking at Ian here while I'm saying that. So. The Manitoba Institute of Trades and Technology plays an important role in our city, preparing our young people for a successful future, and we are incredibly grateful to count it as an integral part of the Winnipeg South community that I represent. The new English Language Institute will provide a great service to so many of our newest residents, some of them in this room. This will be critical to setting our students up for success, to ensure that they can enter programs here that will we believe, lead them on the path to employment. In a riding known for its high diversity, we have some 50 language groups, we have some 200 cultures right in this part of the city, Indigenous, non-Indigenous, French, English, many, many languages. People have come from all over the world to make a better life for themselves and their families, and I know some of you are in the room, and we know the value and importance of welcoming international students that our world-class educational institutions bring here. And it is our hope that these new residents, again, some of you in this room will fall in love with our city, will stay, will raise their families, and contribute to our shared prosperity. So again, I want to congratulate MITT for this very, very special day. I'm looking forward to hearing one of your graduates have a soft spot in my heart for Ukrainians and Ukrainian heritage on my mother's side, but дуже дякую, they would say in Ukrainian. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dugan. What I love most about working at the English Language Institute is getting to know our students. They come to MITT from around the world, bringing with them diverse cultures and so much passion. As they develop their English skills through our programs, we see that passion come alive, and it is so rewarding. Our next speaker is one such example. Oksana Savchuk and her husband Nick arrived in Manitoba a mere 6 months ago from the Ukraine, both of them students in the ELI. This morning, Oksana is going to share with all of us a glimpse of her journey. Welcome, Oksana.
Good morning, distinguished guests, teachers, and students. My name is Oksana Savchuk, and I just finished my study at MITT at English Language Institute. And before I start, I would like to ask you, please don't judge me, as this is my first public speech in English. And to be honest, I have some butterflies in my stomach, but anyways, I'm going to tell you about my experience of being an international student and my reasoning and observations about learning English at MITT and, of course, its results. 6 months ago, I came to Canada from the very beautiful country, Ukraine, and I had some reasons to choose Manitoba that offers so many opportunities for international students. For example, first of all, we are given a chance to get one of the best educations in the world with affordable tuition fees. And secondly, the price for accommodation, living, and transportation are lower than in other major cities of Canada. And last but not the least for me is that a huge Ukrainian community lives there, and I feel that they can help me to settle in Canada without good knowledge of English at the beginning. So I chose the English MITT because social networks helped me to make this decision and make a vision about learning system, about social life, and also about main advantages for international students. And I already had an idea about the college before joining it. And I also got the feeling that teachers and MITT staff would be able to help me and to give me some advice and support, information, and of course knowledge. So whoever is doing this job, please keep up the good work. Next, I'm going to tell you about my first days in Canada and how I took my teeny steps to gain further knowledge in English and understanding the value of English language course in MITT. To be honest, before coming to Canada, I only had one conversation with real native English speaker in my life. It was when I took my IELTS speaking test with an examiner from Britain. So you can imagine my feeling when I just arrived to Winnipeg, and once I decided to went to the bank to open my saving account, and remembering just one sentence that I had to ask there. But when I came to bank and found myself in front of the bank manager who was trying to explain me all Canadian banking system and some basic rules, I fell into a stupor because I didn't understand almost anything, and my bank appointment had to be postponed for uncertain future. So during the initial days in the MITT, this college, I thought I would not be able to cope with assignments, with group work, with at least daily conversation with teachers and students, and I couldn't speak properly with anyone. And in whole institute, there was just one more person from Ukraine. It was my husband. But we weren't allowed to be in the same group, and yet we had the rule don't speak in any language other than English. So, and I remember I was trying to ask our manager Michelle to place us in the same group, but she said it's best for us to be in separate groups if we want to improve our English. And yes, it was hard, but now I should thank Michelle for this decision. Yeah. And over time, I began to understand my teachers, and they were so kind and so generous and thoughtful people. I admire their professionalism and their great ability to work with international students. In addition, I always had their support and their sincere desire to teach us as much as possible. Also, they help us to develop friendships between students from different countries. Thanks to this, now I have a lot of friends from different countries, from Brazil, from China, from South Korea, from Pakistan, and many, many, many others. And I still hang out with them and practice our conversation skills after finishing the English program. So I also appreciate the methods used by our teachers to help us cope with life outside classes, where we lack confidence. Do you remember I told you about my frustrating experience at the bank? So our teachers, Roger and Bobby, wanted us to take a survey about banking system, about saving money in Winnipeg among Canadian citizens. And then we were supposed to compare the gathered information to all students and teachers from other classes. It was hard, it was a very challenging task, but now I'm confident and in engaging in any form of conversation, and finally I'm not afraid of going to the bank anymore. Moreover, we enjoyed a lot of our Fridays activities organized by MITT staff. For example, we visited Canadian Museum for Human Rights, Winnipeg Art Gallery, Recreation Center Fort White Alive, and Assiniboine Park Zoo, Morning Sound Farm, a lot of different games, and also we took part in different competitions as well. And as we can see now, it had a huge value not for only learning English, but also for learning Canadian history, culture, and traditions. And now I can recommend the English Language Institute in MITT for all international students who want to learn English in effective and interesting way, and who wants to join helpful and nice environment. This is a lovely new facility for you and to enjoy, and this environment and the people who work here will surely help you to cope with a culture shock, with emotional roller coaster, and homesickness as well. Looking ahead, I would like to continue my postgraduate education at MITT Leadership and Management program, and I'm looking forward to be enrolled again because now I have a break. So also I will improve my English. I know I need it, but fortunately I got a good start here, so yeah, it's good for me. And after finishing the college, I would like to stay in Manitoba for living because my husband and me, we like this place, we like Winnipeg, and it becomes our second home. So we want to find there good jobs and to stay there, of course. And finally, I would like to thank everybody. I would like to thank my teachers because they have so many advantages, so many passion for us. I thank Bobby, I thank Roger and Linda and Dee. Kevin and Tim, I have never been in your classes, but I enjoyed your sense of humor every break time. Also, I thank our manager, Michelle, for her patience and everyday helping with any questions that we had. And I thank everybody who involved in the development of MITT College. And of course, I thank you for your time because I took a lot of time. But I wish you a good day and don't forget to follow your dreams because as my experience shows, if you want something, everything is possible when you have passion, persistence, and of course, a lot of reliable people around. Thank you.
Thank you, Oksana. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. Here to provide some details on the history, vision, and success of the ELI is MITT President and CEO Paul Holden.
Well, good morning, and let me start off by saying I'm not sure my English is actually as strong as yours is, so I'm really not sure how this is going to go, but we're going to give it a shot. Michelle, thank you very much for all of your efforts in getting this facility ready and the state in which it currently stands. Minister Wishart, Mr. Dugan, as well as Oksana, thank you so much for your contributions this morning and being a part of this very special day for all of us. I'm also told that this event is live streaming around the world as we speak to friends and family that may have an opportunity to maybe see some of you as well as some of us standing up front. So I want to say a big hello to those as well around the world that are seeing this. The ELI program and this new facility really do give MITT a huge opportunity to provide tailored language training to international students. And some of these students come here to gain skills that they can take back home. Others want a program that prepares them for continued post-secondary paths here, whether that be at universities or colleges in this province or beyond. And yet others who are looking to live and work in Manitoba need the language skills to be able to effectively integrate and join Manitoba's workforce. All three of those streams are available through this institution. And for each, MITT delivers. It's not easy coming to a new country to learn a new language, as you just heard. So we try to help make those challenges more manageable for each and every one of you. This starts the moment a student enters the ELI, and I know for a fact that every member of the staff makes them feel welcome from day one. Our instructors don't simply teach language skills. They work one-on-one with students, providing a level of support that helps them use English with confidence. And that confidence is further boosted by providing students a sense of community and a place where they know everyone is new at English and everyone is learning as they go. And this new facility makes that very much possible. We go beyond the lesson because we want all of our international students to have nothing short of an experience that Oksana talked about today. We want MITT to be the destination of choice for the best and brightest learners around the world. And we are extremely encouraged by our progress to date. Since 2012, when we first started entering into this particular area, the ELI Institute itself has increased by over 400% in terms of enrollment, and that is anticipated to double again in the next 12 months. Our greatest vision includes further internationalization of our campus here in Manitoba and developing English language training for delivery abroad, all with the goal of becoming a global leader in language training. And it is a very big undertaking, but we have the skills and the people here at this institution to make that work. And that's what's made the growth of our ELI program possible, and I want to thank everybody that's been involved in this undertaking for making it happen. I also want to acknowledge my colleague Liz Choi sitting in the front. She's our Vice President of Students and Strategic Partnerships. She's with us today, and she embodies this philosophy. Liz is the driving force behind the transformation that the ELI has undertaken since its modest and humble beginning just a few short years ago. She continues to build partnerships around the world to attract more learners to MITT, and I trust her leadership in large part because she knows what it's like to come to Canada as a student herself. Liz came to this province from Korea when she was 14 years old, and she went on to complete her high school diploma and multiple post-secondary education in our province, and fortunately chose this institution to pursue her career. We will continue to help inspire stories like Oksana's as well as Liz's and equip young men and women from around the world with the language skills and proficiency that will open the doors to a wealth of opportunities in terms of employment and beyond. And this ambitious pursuit starts right here in Manitoba at this facility, the English Language Institute. So thank you all so very much for joining us today and for being a part of this celebration. Once again, on such a lovely day, we appreciate the turnout.
All right, thank you, Paul. So we had intended to host this event outside, and our students were all prepared with their warm coats, and they were ready to brace the weather, but it is a bit too wet. So we thought you'd be more comfortable inside. But I will now ask our speakers to assemble for a ribbon cutting ceremony outside to officially open the English Language Institute.
Okay, all right.
All right, can we cut?
Whenever you're ready.
3,
2, 1, cut.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
There we go.